Good morning, hope you guys are having an awesome day. I sure am, as England are now into the semi-finals of football. But that being the case, today we are going to be talking about the Supa Supa No Me, or the Dice Fruit. Let's go! Right, so the Dice Fruit has, or the Supa Supa No Me, has been consumed by Daz Bones, or otherwise known as Mr. One. And this guy is absolutely amazing. It gives him this devil fruit kind of gives him the ability to turn any part of his body into steel blades. So pretty much, if he wants his finger to be a knife, he doesn't need a knife to eat. He can just use his finger, which is kind of handy really, but in all honesty you still probably get like crap all over your fingers even if you're cutting it. So, that being either way, he is known as one of the best assassins in the West Blue, and to be honest, I actually see why he was one of the most notorious bloody bounty hunters going. I said assassin, but he was a bounty hunter. So that being the case, let's get into his techniques. Now, the first one is the spider, and this is where he literally just turns one of his arms into a blade, and it basically stands for beheading / cutting man, and I'm reading that one off the wiki. And basically this kind of gives him like a full defensive move where he turns every part of his body into a spider, and well, it turns every part of his body into a blade, and that is why it's called the spider, because pretty much like whatever you're going to hit him with, even if you're going to throw a punch, you're basically punching a blade. So feel like punching a knife in your hand. It's going to cut your fingers off at the end of the day. I did say his arm, but it is most predominantly his entire body which can do that. But it is usually been showcased with his legs and his arms. Not so much his torso, but I would love to see his torso an actual blade. That would be weird. That'd be weird, but it would be cool. It'd be kind of like the Buki No Me with Baby 5 when she turns into a sword. That would be absolutely cool as hell. Right, so the next move is the Sparklaw, and that is literally when he turns his fingers into little blades, where he gets serrations around his insides of his fingers, and he uses that to basically attack with. This is absolutely insane because, like, at the end of the day, you can probably shake your hand and cut your entire hand off with just shaking your hand. But in the other case of that being said, he's also able to fight without an actual weapon, with this devil fruit in general, but if he actually did use a sword, he could actually just go literally hand-to-hand combat with a swordsman, such as in Alabaster when he went against Zorro. So that being the case, we're going to go over to the Sparkling Daisy technique, and that is where he literally projects, like, his blades, like, do you know how Zorro, like, projects his attacks? And it's and just goes into the air and just slices from like ages away. That is like an OP move, and he actually does this, but it does it in 5 different sections. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He could literally just destroy an entire building, which he showcased in Alabaster again in Zorro's fight. Pretty much all of this is just showcased from the fight with Zorro. So that being the case, let's get into the next technique, which is the Atomic Spar, and that is literally where he just completely just does exactly what the Dice Fruit does and dices. He can dice anything into like little teeny chunk things like, I want this devil fruit so bad, and pretty much he just dices an entire building into pieces. That's amazing in order to actually get through walls and like just get 2 people. Because at the end of the day, if you can just cut through all that, then there's nothing really stopping you from your target if you're a bounty hunter. Obviously, there is another move which has been showcased in Alabaster, and that is called the Spiral Hollow. And that is pretty much where he creates blades, multiple blades, on his forearms and then spins them. They are spinning blades where he can literally just hit you with that, and he'll completely just dice your entire body up. But think about that. Load of like little angle grinder blades just all going, that'll take your face clean off. Like, end of story. Like, you're down for the count if that hits you. Like, you get shoved in the chest or something. you're pretty much screwed unless you get to like Chopper or something really, really fast. Now, all in all, I find this Devil Fruit absolutely amazing, and it is by far one of my most favourite Devil Fruits. And I would personally have this Devil Fruit. I know I've said I would have a couple of other Devil Fruits, but besides the Horror Nomi or like the Ghost Fruit that Perona has, I would definitely have the Dice Fruit, because knowing that, I would definitely learn Armament Haki. And that is what I want to see Daz Bones have when we see him next. I want to see him in Wano. Yes, I say this. I want to see him in Wano using Armament Haki, because at the end of the day, if he could do Armament Haki like Virgo, then he is literally a dicing machine. He can just cut through anything with that. Like, he would give Zoro a run for his money. Like, end of story. That is just OP. Like, imagine turning your blade into your arm into a blade and Armament Haki that up and just cutting people down with that. Or the Spiral Hollow. Armament Haki on that. End of story. Like, I can see so many things happening if you learn Armament Haki. That would be insane. Like, oh my god, that would be insane. That being the case, I find that Daz Bones is not only a great character, even though we haven't really seen him all that much since the Alabaster arc, but I would love to see him a lot more, and I would love to see him in Wano. Mainly because it's Wano, swords are predominantly used there, and him with Armament Haki could take out so many samurai. Come on, he's a living blade. Let's be honest. So, that being the case, that is the Supa Supa no Mi, or the Dice Fruit. Have a lovely rest of the day, guys, and I shall see you in the next video tomorrow. Bye-bye.